Hi folks, welcome back. I'm Trailblazer Tim. So in today's video I want to take a few minutes and I want to show you how I put together my ultimate Altoids survival tin. Now if you research YouTube and the internet, you'll see countless amount of videos of people putting these little packs together, and they're really cool. But I looked all over YouTube and I couldn't find a single one that I had done.
Today's the day.
Now when it comes down to packing one of these Altoid tins for survival, there's no real laid out blueprint. There's no right or wrong way. I've got a small Altoids tin as well as another tin that's not Altoids. It's a little bit bigger, but a tin is a tin. The real trick is how well you personally can utilize the small compact space of a metal tin such as an Altoids tin for your survival. Ultimately today I wanted to be able to show you two different tins packed with two different kinds of uses, but we don't have that much time today to do this video. So we're going to concentrate our efforts on this larger black metal tin, and I'm going to show you how I utilize it to pack the best and most when it comes to fire starting. Alright, so we're going to be working with our little bit larger tin. It's not that much bigger than an Altoids tin. First thing we're going to do is we're going to open up the top of this. As you can see, we've got compartments. I'll show you the first thing that I'm going to do, and remember, we are building a microlight ultimate fire starter kit out of a small tin such as an Altoids. So we're going to start with the lid of our tin right here. We're going to flip it over so we see the inside part. I took a matchbox. As you can see, I've removed some of the striker area and cut it into a nice little slot such as this. This time I'm going to take a little bit of crazy glue and we're going to dab it on the back side of it, kind of a little bit like that. See? We're going to take and flip that thing over and stick it to the inside of our Altoids lid. See that? Sweet. Now with the match striker, I've got a half a dozen matches here. I got a little bit of duct tape with a little bit of that sticky edge still sitting there. We're going to go ahead and we're going to set that down right next to the striker so it sticks to the top of that lid. See that? Utilizing your space to the best of your ability, and we haven't even got into the main part of the tin yet. Now this is where it gets interesting. This is where you need to start realizing you only have so much space to use in order to make yourself a little fire kit. And it's not about this or that or whatever, it's about what works good for you, time and tested and all that good stuff in a compact space, and be able to put it in and stack it in a way where everything's going to fit. Packing accordingly so everything fits well, what I have learned from experiences is always put yourself stuff in that is going to fit the best and most proper, and might be able to get more than one use out of just one single thing. Things that do not bend, have no kind of bend to them, such as a pocket knife. This is a multi-use, just a plain old pocket knife. I can use this to cut things, whatever. But a knife, always good in fire case. And look, I can bend that and put it up next to that. Now another thing that I put in there next to it is going to be a simple ferro rod. That can stack in right next to it. No problems. See that? Knife on a ferro rod. Striker. See what I mean? And we haven't even taken up half of our space. That by itself is two different fire starting deals that I have in this tin. And we still got room for plenty more. The next item that I've decided to put into my little fire starting micro survival fire pick is a simple Bic lighter. But it's not only going to be used as a fire starter, I also have it wrapped with some simple paracord, which would come in handy for other uses when I'm out at camp. This one has to lay down flat, which now we're running out of some room. That's a multi-purpose piece of equipment inside of your little kit. Let's see what else can fit in here. Next in our kit, I have a miniature little tin, and inside this little tin is char cloth. See that? Nice. I can take that Bic lighter and kind of just move it out of the way enough where this thing will fit down in there nice and flush. But nothing more important than just the tin and the char cloth than to sneak in a nice little pair of tweezers. You can use that to pull things out like the char cloth and pull ticks off of you. You can use this for a lot of different things. this also goes in as a fire starting utensil. You see how that nests down inside of there along with everything else. Everything's still level. Everything's great. Let's review so far. Remember, we have our folding pocket knife, as well as a ferro rod, a pair of tweezers, a Bic lighter that's wrapped in paracord, as well as a small tin that has char cloth. Now we're running out of room here. We're not done yet. And don't forget about our lid that we utilized, our little striker, as well as some matches. Let me show you what else we can put inside this little tin. Alright, we're doing pretty good so far. You can see that nice little tin packed with tons of goodies. But we ain't done. I also like to pack myself a little micro magnifying glass. See that? In a bag. Multi-purpose. Sit it right there. Magnifying glass, everybody knows you can heat it up over maybe the char cloth or whatever you have with the sun. Just in case that's the only thing you got or it's the only thing that works for you. Let's not forget, I also have room for a couple little toothpick size pieces of fat wood. Those guys can sit right there inside, no problems, and it's still flush for me to put the lid on. Okay, so we're not done yet. Still, we still have room for a few more little goodies, such as a simple cotton ball, dryer lint. This stuff is very pliable. It will stuff down in a tight spot. That's the reason why I said put all the things that can't move around in first and add everything else on top. We are reaching near capacity with this tin, but I have one more thing that I think may end up fitting in there real nice. A simple piece of jute twine. Now this is multi-purpose as well. It's good for fire starting, not to mention I still have something I could make myself a little loop, tie it up, hang it from something, whatever. It's pliable. That's the reason why it's going into the tin last, because everything at this point can be pushed down inside of there and compressed into a compact little area and always ready for you in a pinch. Okay, now comes the time of truth. Now we got all our goodies packed up in our tin. Let's see if we've utilized this well enough to put this lid on top. Now, there are options. You want this thing to be closed because remember, fire starting material needs to be dry and you want to keep it dry. Now we got this a little bit more full than what I wanted to. I could probably jimmy it around a little bit, but there are options. Got a small little bungee cord. You can take this thing, just wrap a small little bungee cord around it, and it will keep that lid nice and closed. One more thing to add to this kit, and I'll show you right now. To ensure that you have a nice area and safekeeping for your fire starting tin, because this could be the difference between surviving overnight and having yourself a nice fire or all that other good stuff or not, is I also, as you've seen in other videos, have an Esbit stove. Esbit. It's a nice little carry case for my stove, which I no longer use, with little drawstring. Well, this little baby right here just happens to be just perfect enough size to accommodate my fire starting kit. Now we're self-contained and I could hang this off a pack. It's so small, but there's 100 fires plus in this little pack. That is cool. Now just because that's what I put inside my little tin for fire kit and survival stuff doesn't mean that's what you have to use. You can substitute it with a single flint and steel if that's what you wanted to do, or anything else that works for you. Like I said in the beginning of the video, you need to pack accordingly to what works for you and give yourselves plenty of options when it comes to starting that fire out in the forest. Alright, let's take just a moment and review on how we made out with our little survival fire tin, which is just slightly larger than an Altoids tin. Same difference. So open it up, as you see what we did in the beginning of the video. Inside of the lid of the tin, we took and glued a single small strip off of a cut area of a matchbox. Half a dozen matches, duct tape to it. That right there is one fire starting thing. Working our way from the top to the bottom, cotton balls, dryer lint, very combustible. Not to mention a small pair of tweezers. Tweezers can be used for a number of different things, Whether it be I've got to hold on to a piece of the lighter knot fat wood that we put in here or whatnot. Also, it can be used to poke fires or to pull a tick off of you if you're walking in the woods. Also, we have a single Bic lighter that is wrapped in paracord. Of course, the Bic is going to start and light just about anything you want to light, as well as double up as multi-purpose to use paracord, and we all know paracord is very versatile. A small magnifying glass. You've seen me use this in a video and make a fire and eat a lunch. We know how useful that is. The tweezers also are a great utensil when it comes to my little tin I put in here that's full of char cloth. See that? To extract it. Little micro tin. Beautiful. And let's not forget the first two things we put in here, a simple ferro rod as well as a folding pocket knife. Pocket knife can be used for just about anything. You use it to strike your ferro rod, all kinds of things. This is what I chose to put inside of my fire tent. Now, like I said, the choice is completely up to you of what works and what doesn't work. Like I said, you could put a nice piece of flint and steel in there and make that work for you. But this is what I found works the best for me. And the most important thing is I have options. And it's not 100% waterproof. That's why we have the little bag that we wrapped it in. That's not waterproof either. But you can keep it all into one place. That way when you get out to camp or you're in an emergency situation, you're not fumbling around for a bunch of different things. Oh, I got this, but I don't know where this is. You keep it in one general spot. And I guarantee you, you have many, many fires that you can start with this beyond belief. Awesome. Hey, that's going to do it for this one. Thanks so much for hanging out and watching the video. That's my take on the ultimate Altoids fire tin. You pack whatever it is you want in there. We're not by any means reinventing the wheel. A lot of these guys are doing it. When it all comes down to it, what works for you and what you can pack in here in a pinch is what's going to go the furthest for you. Got any questions? Leave them down below. Thanks so much. Until next time, I'll see you all in the next adventure. Take care.